Going green leads to a healthy, sustainable environment. Let us maintain, keep, and preserve the earth by making little contributions and sacrifices towards nurturing it and preserving it. It's a book that you can leaf through and immediately grasp the concepts. So I believe I've been able to reach my target group at this point in time and to educate them as intended. I'd like to seize the opportunity to thank all of those that work closely with me, because at that time I wasn't too a pleasant person. I didn't want to speak to anybody. I kept on telling anybody, if you don't have anything important to discuss with me, please go away. I'm busy. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be disturbed. But getting the job done and seeing the book unfold was very fulfilling and very rewarding, because I could see it coming together. And even though I was writing a book, because it required a lot of research, I was actually educating myself. And the more I tried to put the book together, the more I became inspired as well. And I would say that I've gained a lot of knowledge as well by writing this book for the benefit of the children.
What are the common practices we have in Nigeria that are not very good for staying green and maintaining the environment in the right condition?
Right. From a child's perspective, I'd say things like what a lot of us are guilty of. When we're brushing our teeth, we leave the tap running. We're wasting water. When we walk out of the rooms, we don't switch off the lights. We're wasting energy. We're polluting as well, because when you don't switch off lights, because of the current situation in Nigeria about power, we tend to have to switch on generating sets. If the lights weren't on, we didn't need the lights, we wouldn't need to put on our generating sets, and we wouldn't be causing pollution within the environment. So just basic things about our day-to-day living things, little changes that they can make to make the world a better place, to make the environment a cleaner and healthier one.
And I liked one there, walk rather than drive, if you can.
Yes. You know, even if you were to walk along the street now, I'm sure a lot of people would park and say, excuse me, is there anything wrong with your car? We can walk. We need to be healthier anyway in the society. And we would be conserving energy, because we need fuel to drive the cars. So if we drive less, we're using less fuel. So this is why we say, walk instead of drive. And if you really do have to drive, then take a passenger. If we could have, like they used to have in the olden days, when lots of children went to school with maybe somebody else's mom, then maybe you'd have 4 school children going in one car in the same direction, as opposed to 4 cars being on the road going to the same school. It's just little lifestyle changes that can actually make a huge difference to conserving energy.
Let's get a bit up close and personal now.
Right.
You really have 5 children.
I have 5 children. I do, to the glory of God. 5 wonderful children.
That's good. Which books and authors have influenced you the most?
I wouldn't say any in particular. I am more of a web crawler. So you could say sites on the internet. You could ask me about what sites on the internet have inspired me the more. And even to that, I wouldn't have a particular answer for you. It's just like listening to the news, tapping into what's going on around you, seeing people's conditions, and thinking of how you can assist. That sort of like sways me and influences whatever I do round about now on this platform as the wife of the governor.
Okay, now the life of first ladies generally, a little bit mysterious to a lot of people. What's the average day like for you as a first lady?
Personally, it would depend on whether we have any activities to attend, like functions and what have you. If we have functions to attend, then I'll try as much as possible to be there. If His Excellency Senator Olufunso Amosun FCA is hosting guests in the government house, then that is my major role. I'm supposed to support him in making sure that the government house is running smoothly if he has guests or has other things to attend to within the government house. That is actually my role. Anything else depends on the individual and how far you'd like to stretch yourself on that platform.
Please tell us about, you have green clubs in schools. Can you tell us about that?
Well, just like as before, the extracurricular activities in schools. I've worked closely with the Ministry of Education and tried to get clubs such as Boy Scouts, Girl Guides, Brownies to teach, whilst they're having their normal activities, the basics of going green. And on the Children's Day, when these books were given out, I pronounced all the recipients as GEFTI ambassadors. I said to them, now you know the basics of going green. You need to preach them to anybody you come in contact with. I've since said that GEFTI ambassadors clubs should be formed in schools and be part of extracurricular activities. It's just to have fun, to learn through fun the basics of going green in schools and amongst children.
That's good. Can you please give us a few highlights of the book?
Well, one of my favorite topics in this book is something that I have coined as green empathy. It means being empathic to our fellow less privileged people in the society. I've said we should teach our children to go green by not being wasteful. They shouldn't be wasteful with food so that they can give the less privileged in the society. They should learn, we should teach them to respect their clothing, to take care of their clothing and things like that, such that they can package them when they are no longer in use to give to the less privileged in the society. Because one of the major highlight of going green are the 3 R's, which are reducing, reusing, and recycling. The green empathy hinges on reusing. It's all in a bid to reduce waste. Instead of throwing clothes out and mounting up waste, if we keep the clothes in good condition, then we can give them to the less privileged people in the society, as opposed to them ending up in the dustbin and contributing to waste in the society. So we teach our children to share with the less privileged, to actually be conscious that there are people out there. Eat a little less. Don't be wasteful with lightings and things like that, to sort of like tweak their subconsciousness that there are people out there that they can help if they just give a little bit, if they are not so wasteful. That is what the concept of the green empathy is about. Planting a tree is one of the basic ones. We need to let the children understand that to sustain the environment and the forest inhabitants, we need to make sure that we sustain forestation, and their little quota towards this could be to plant a tree. If you and I and everybody in this room planted a tree, then we would be working towards sustaining the environment.